Every time you drive, there's a chance you're doing something that slowly tears your transmission apart, and you may never know about it until the repair bill hits thousands of dollars. Today, I'm going to reveal these subtle habits that quietly ruin your transmission, including one surprising mistake even experienced drivers make that could be seconds away from causing a breakdown. Alright, let's start off with one of the most overlooked and potentially the most damaging mistakes drivers make after transmission work. Whenever a mechanic changes the transmission fluid, replaces the battery, installs a new solenoid, or even performs an ECU reset, the transmission's computer needs to relearn how to operate. Now that process is known as transmission adaptation, and skipping it can easily sabotage the entire system without any warning. See, modern transmissions rely on adaptive learning to decide how much pressure to apply during each shift, how quickly to engage the clutches, and how to match your driving style. So, whenever you service a transmission or reset the car's electronics, those learned values are wiped clean. That means your automatic transmission is essentially operating blind and guessing the pressure needed instead of using precise and calibrated data. Now, that's where trouble begins, as the transmission might command pressure levels that are either way too high or way too low. If they're too high, you're bound to experience harsh and jarring shifts, while low levels lead to clutch slip. That slip then creates heat and friction that can wear out clutch packs way faster than usual. Now, you can stay on the safe side of things by ensuring that the transmission adapts fully after service. To do this, start by warming your car fully, then do a light acceleration up to moderate speeds, allowing smooth upshifts and natural downshifts. Repeat through different gears and include easy stop-and-go driving. While you're at it, you need to avoid hard acceleration, towing, or heavy loads for the first 50 to 100 miles. Doing this will ensure your transmission control module can relearn proper pressures and timing without a bunch of extra stress. When a transmission's rebuilt or serviced, most car owners focus on the fresh parts and the clean new fluid. But there's a component quietly sitting off to the side that almost everybody forgets about: the transmission cooler. Now the thing is here, a cooler does way more than just move fluid. It also acts as a fluid store. So if the old transmission failed, that leftover fluid can be filled with tiny particles from burned clutches, metal shavings, and heat-damaged debris. All of these contaminants often settle deep inside the cooler's passages, where they cling like soot inside of a dirty chimney. Now just imagine installing a freshly rebuilt transmission and then sending all that crap right back into it the moment the engine starts. That's kind of like clearing the entire house, but then you just dump all the dirt back onto the floor. Now the unsettling truth is that a surprising number of mechanics skip the cooler flush completely. And maybe because the cooler looks fine on the outside. Sometimes it's just completely overlooked in the rush of a busy repair day. But a cooler that still holds damaged fluid can cause a rebuilt transmission to wear out long before it's time. That debris slowly circulates, creates harsher shifts, overheating, eventually undoing all the expensive work that was done in the first place. Now this is one of the habits almost everybody's done at some point, especially in tight parking lots. You inch backward, realize you overshot the spot, and you quickly click from reverse to drive while the car's creeping along. Another thing would be that you swing from drive back into reverse to make a fast 3-point turn. Now all that might feel harmless and make you feel super cool, Speed Racer, but it's actually a recipe for disaster for your transmission. See, automatic transmissions depend on a precise system of clutches, gears, and locking mechanisms designed to engage only when the vehicle is fully stopped, and they're not built to fight the momentum of a moving car. So when you shift directions while still rolling, those internal parts, they collide pretty hard. When the parking pole, clutch packs, and gear sets are suddenly forced to stop the vehicle's motion and change direction at the same time, that split-second impact creates metal-on-metal stress, microscopic shavings, and shock loads that accumulate over time. The failure might not be immediate, but the continued quick shifts mean frequent hits on the transmission. And the effects, they start showing later on in the form of rough engagement, delayed shifting, and strange noises. Now by that point in time, the damage is already done, and what awaits next is a hefty invoice for repairs or a complete transmission replacement. Hey, the rule here is simple. Don't shift directions until your cars come to a complete stop. The couple seconds you spend waiting might save you a couple $1,000s in the long run. You might also be guilty of this next mistake too. Alright, towing might seem as simple as hooking up your trailer and hitting the road, but the stakes are much higher than that in automatic transmissions. One mistake that happens here is that a lot of drivers pull heavy loads without switching into tow or haul mode, or even worse, they tow purely in regular drive. Your car might be able to seem to handle all that perfectly at first, but you'd be shocked by the aftermath. When you turn on towing or haul mode, the transmission's functionality changes completely. It adjusts shift points, increases line pressure, and keeps the system in lower gears longer to prevent stress. So when you tow loads without it, the transmission is forced to work harder than usual, putting a significant strain on it. That results in heat building up quicker, and when that happens, the fluid thins out and loses its ability to lubricate and cool. And man, it's all downhill from there. That overheated fluid, it begins to break down seals, weaken clutch packs, and stressing the delicate valves that control how and when gears engage. At first, the subtle cues will include a faint burnt smell, shifts that take just a little too long, or moments where the car hesitates under load. Then a sudden drop in power precedes a complete failure that demands thousands of dollars in repairs or overhauls. If you drive an automatic, you need to subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss out on any of our next tips. They could be the difference between smooth driving and being hit with a $5,000 repair bill. Alright, have you ever postponed changing your transmission fluid and instead you decided to push it for, a couple thousand more miles? That seemingly simple and harmless decision could end up massively denting your wallet. Most cars need fresh fluids roughly every 30 to 60,000 miles. Sure, there's other instances when the fluid might also break down sooner, like if you're stuck in stop-and-go city traffic every day, or if you just run it regularly low. So why is failing to change this fluid a formula for chaos in your transmission? Well, this fluid cools the internal parts. It reduces friction and even helps control shifting by creating the hydraulic pressure the transmission needs in order to operate. But over time, it collects microscopic metal shavings and heat-soaked debris. So whenever that happens, it loses its ability to protect the internal components. And that's when wear starts to accelerate quietly in the background. And if you drive an older vehicle, then you're at even greater risk. Now this is because the seals of such vehicles are already aging. Their clutch packs have been through thousands of heat cycles, and their valves can become sluggish when exposed to sludge. This means that your car is more prone to clutch packs slipping and wearing, seals and gaskets cracking, valves sticking, gear sets overheating, and the torque converter failing. Now at that point, you might easily be looking at a $4,000 repair bill. And that said, why not change the transmission fluid within that 30,000 to 60,000 mile mark and just avoid a catastrophic failure that could leave your car stranded and your wallet empty? The bottom line here is, you treat your transmission right, and it's going to serve you perfectly well over the 100,000 mile mark. So make sure you hit subscribe now and learn how to protect your car before it demands an expensive repair that you could have avoided from the get-go.